Have you ever felt as though you were speaking a language the universe simply refused to understand? You ask for abundance, yet scarcity arrives. You plead for peace, and chaos knocks at your door. What if I told you the universe isn't deaf to your words, but is instead listening to a much deeper, more profound broadcast, the silent, constant hum of your own energy? This isn't a story about magic or wishful thinking. It's an exploration of the fundamental mechanics of existence, a journey into the heart of consciousness itself. We are about to unravel the intricate dance between your inner world and your outer experience, to understand how destiny is not a path you follow, but a reality you compose, note by energetic note. We will explore the archetypes of awakening, the roles our souls play in this grand cosmic orchestra, from the silent power of the quantum observer to the world-altering presence of the frequency guardian. Prepare to see yourself and your world not as a collection of solid, separate things, but as a vibrant, interconnected symphony of frequency, where you're not just a listener, but the conductor holding the baton. At the very core of our existence lies a truth so simple, yet so profound, it has been whispered through ages by mystics and is now being echoed in the halls of quantum science. Your life is a reflection of your vibration. Destiny, in this paradigm, is not a rigid, predetermined path carved in stone by an external force. There are no chosen ones, touched by a divine hand of favoritism. Instead, there are souls who, through conscious effort or intuitive grace, have learned to tune their inner instrument. They have raised their personal frequency, peeling away the layers of discord, the fear, the doubt, the resentment, to remember their eternal, unbreakable connection to the source of all light, the foundational energy from which all of creation springs. This isn't a metaphor, it's a mechanism. Consciousness is the silent, unseen architect of everything we perceive as real. Every single thought that flits through your mind, no matter how fleeting or insignificant it may seem, is not a private, contained event. It is an energetic pulse, a wave sent rippling through the quantum field. This field is not an empty void. It is a plenum, a vibrant, intelligent medium that connects everything. Your thoughts are not just interacting with your own brain chemistry. They are interacting with the thoughts of all other beings, with the energetic signature of every object, every place, and every potential future. Together, these countless waves of consciousness interfere, amplify, and cancel each other out, coalescing into the shared hologram we call reality. This is why the universe often seems indifferent to our spoken words or desperate desires. You can repeat affirmations for wealth until you are blue in the face, but if the underlying frequency of your being is vibrating with a deep-seated belief in lack and unworthiness, that is the signal the universe will receive and mirror back to you. The universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you are at an energetic level. It is a cosmic law of resonance. If you strike a tuning fork pitched to the key of C, another C-tuned fork across the room will begin to vibrate in sympathy, while a G-tuned fork will remain silent. Your being is that first tuning fork, and the quantum field is the medium through which your vibration travels, activating and drawing to you experiences, people, and circumstances that resonate with your dominant frequency. The journey of awakening, therefore, is not an outward quest to conquer enemies accumulate possessions, or change the world through force. It is an entirely internal process. It is the patient, dedicated work of refining your own frequency, of transmuting the heavy, dense energies of your past traumas and limiting beliefs into the light, coherent energy of love, gratitude, and peace. As you undertake this inner alchemy, a miraculous thing happens. The outer world, without any direct effort on your part, begins to rearrange itself. The difficult relationship resolves. The perfect opportunity materializes. The right people appear as if from nowhere. The world is not changing for you. It is changing with you, because you and the world are not separate. You are a vibrational eddy in the great ocean of consciousness. And as your spin changes, the currents around you must change in response. This brings us to the true nature of choice. We often perceive our lives as a series of branching paths, a constant struggle between this way or that way. Should I take this job or that one? Stay in this relationship or leave? But these are secondary choices, surface-level decisions that arise from a much deeper, more fundamental point of decision. The true moment of choice, the one that dictates all others, is the choice between two vibrations. It is the moment-by-moment decision to align with either the familiar, dense weight of the past, the comfortable misery of old stories, grievances, and identities, or the formless, vibrant, and utterly unpredictable potential of the new. The past is a frequency defined by what has already happened. It is a known quantity, and the ego finds a strange sense of safety in its predictability, even if that predictability is painful. The new, however, is a frequency of pure potentiality. It has no shape, no definition, other than the one you give it with your focused attention and coherent emotion. To choose the new is to release your grip on who you have been and to have the courage to stand in the pregnant emptiness of the unknown, trusting that as you hold a frequency of wholeness, a reality of wholeness will inevitably crystallize around you. This is the art of living as a conscious creator, the master of your own energetic symphony. Beyond the act of consciously tuning one's frequency, there exists a state of being so profound, so powerful, it can shift reality without a single thought or action. It is the realm of the quantum observer. There are souls who have cultivated the ability to perceive reality through a lens of pure, unadulterated awareness. They have moved beyond the mind's incessant need to label, categorize, and judge. They see the world, themselves, and others without the filters of fear, the distortions of expectation, or the coloring of past experience. They do not merely witness events as a passive bystander watching a film. They feel the energetic pulse that animates all of life, the subtle, humming current beneath the surface of all form. They understand a fundamental principle of creation that modern physics has only just begun to grasp. The act of observation is an act of creation. In the bizarre and beautiful world of quantum mechanics, we see this principle in action. Before a particle is observed, it doesn't exist in a single, definite place. It exists as a wave of probability, a cloud of all possible locations and all possible outcomes existing simultaneously. It is only when a conscious observer directs their attention toward it, when a measurement is made, that this wave of potential collapses into a single, tangible reality, a particle in a specific place. The quantum observer embodies this cosmic principle in their very consciousness. They understand that the quantum field, the very fabric of existence, is a sea of infinite, overlapping possibilities, all coexisting as ethereal waves. It is the frequency and quality of our attention that acts as the catalyst, the force that reaches into that field of potential and collapses a single possibility into our tangible, experienced reality. This is why two people can experience the exact same event and have wildly different outcomes. One, observing through the frequency of fear and victimhood, collapses the wave of potential into an experience of tragedy and loss. Another, the quantum observer, maintaining a frequency of trust and neutrality, collapses the wave into an experience of growth and opportunity. The event itself was neutral. It was the consciousness of the observer that gave it its form and meaning. The observer, however, does not try to control this process through force of will. They do not strain to think positive or wrestle with unwanted outcomes. That kind of effortful control is still an act of resistance, a frequency of struggle that can only create more struggle. Instead, the observer's power lies in their radical non-resistance. By maintaining a state of coherent, non-reactive awareness, they become a pure, untarnished mirror. In this state of profound inner stillness, their consciousness is not projecting its own fears or desires onto the world. Instead, it simply is. This coherent state of being has a powerful organizing effect on the environment. It is like dropping a perfectly smooth stone into a chaotic, choppy pond. The ripples that emanate from that still point are perfectly symmetrical, and they gradually bring the chaotic waves around them into a more orderly, harmonious pattern. The presence of a quantum observer can bring chaotic energies in a heated argument, a stressful workplace, or even a troubled mind into alignment. This is not achieved through clever words, strategic actions, or forceful intervention. It is achieved through the profound, silent power of their stillness. Their non-reactive presence creates a safe, energetic space where distorted, contracted energies can relax and expand back into their natural state of harmony. They become a sanctuary of peace, and in their vicinity, reality itself seems to exhale and reorganize itself into a more graceful and flowing order. They embody the ultimate truth of conscious creation. To see clearly, free from the projections of the ego, is to create beautifully. They demonstrate that consciousness, in its purest, most untainted form, is the most powerful and sophisticated instrument the soul possesses. It is the master tool for navigating the infinite ocean of possibility and shaping a world that reflects not what we fear, but what we fundamentally are, extensions of a peaceful, loving, and harmonious source. Within the vast tapestry of human consciousness, certain souls arrive with a unique and potent energetic signature. Their purpose is not to conform, but to transform. They are encoded at a soul level to disrupt the stagnant, self-perpetuating cycles of a system built on the low-frequency vibrations of fear, control, and separation. They are the frequency liberators, and their very existence is a quiet, unstoppable revolution. They do not operate through the familiar paradigms of conflict. You will not find them on the front lines of a protest, fighting against the old structures. They do not write scathing critiques or engage in angry rebellion. Their method is far more subtle and infinitely more powerful. They simply live, breathe, and move in absolute, uncompromising alignment with the deepest truth of their soul. This act of authentic living In a world that pressures everyone to conform to a lower common denominator is the most radical act of all. It is a living demonstration of a different possibility, a different way to be. This unwavering authenticity emits a frequency so high, so coherent, and so pure that it functions as a universal solvent for the illusory structures around them. The systems of control, whether they be societal, political, or personal, are built and sustained by compressed, dense energy. They thrive on fear, division, and the belief in limitation. They require the complicity of individuals vibrating at a similar low frequency to maintain their power. The frequency liberator, by holding a vibration of love, freedom, and interconnectedness, introduces a resonance that the old structures simply cannot withstand. Their high-frequency field creates a dissonance, a wobble in the low-frequency matrix. It is like sounding a pure, clear bell in a room filled with discordant noise. The pure tone doesn't fight the noise. It simply rises above it, and in doing so, it begins to entrain the chaotic frequencies, inviting them into a more harmonious state. To those who are heavily invested in the old paradigms of control, those whose power, identity, and security are tied to the maintenance of the fear-based system, the liberator appears as a dangerous disruptor, an unpredictable variable that threatens the established order. Yet, the essence of the liberator is not opposition, it is restoration. They are not here to tear down the old house, but to build a new one so beautiful and inviting that people willingly leave the old one behind. They carry a living reminder of a truth humanity has been conditioned to forget. Freedom is not a privilege to be earned through struggle or granted by an authority. It is our natural state of being, a birthright that was never truly lost, only obscured by layers of conditioning and fear. The liberator's power lies in demonstration, not dogma. By shifting their own frequency from fear to love, from lack to abundance, from separation to unity, they prove that the system does not need to be fought on its own terms. It only needs to be made obsolete. A higher vibration simply renders a lower one irrelevant. You do not fight darkness with more darkness. You simply turn on a light, and the darkness ceases to exist. Their life becomes a radical, living testament to this principle. And this light is contagious. The coherent frequency they emanate ripples outward, awakening dormant codes within the hearts of countless others. It gives them permission to shed their own masks, to question their own limitations, and to begin the process of aligning with their own soul's truth. This is how paradigms shift. It is not a violent overthrow, but a collective turning of the dial, a mass elevation of consciousness, inspired by the few who dared to tune in first. The life of a single frequency liberator is a profound and courageous act that can unlock the potential of a whole generation, proving that one soul, living in unshakable truth, is more powerful than an army marching under the banner of a lie. In an age defined by an unprecedented flood of information, where digital noise and manufactured narratives create a constant, disorienting static, there exist souls who serve as vital anchors for truth. They are the guardians of energetic integrity, the living tuning forks for creation. They are the resonance keepers. Their gift is not intellectual, but deeply intuitive and somatic. They are not convinced by eloquent arguments, impressive credentials, or popular opinion. They are moved only by the vibration behind the words, the energetic signature that animates every communication. With an innate and finely tuned sensitivity, they can instantly feel the dissonance between what is being said and what is energetically true. To them, a lie, no matter how skillfully crafted, feels like a jarring, out of tune chord in a symphony. It creates a palpable sense of unease in their body, a subtle but undeniable feeling of offness. This unique sensitivity makes their very presence a crucible for authenticity. In the presence of a resonance keeper, dishonesty becomes almost unbearable for the person attempting it. The keeper's own energetic field is so coherent, so aligned between their thoughts, words, and actions that it acts as a powerful, resonant chamber. It forces all misaligned energies in their vicinity to confront their own incoherence. These distorted energies are then faced with a choice. They must either synchronize with the higher, more orderly frequency of the keeper, which means revealing the truth, or they must fall away, repelled by a vibration they cannot match. This is why people living in their own truth feel a profound sense of peace and recognition around a resonance keeper. It feels like coming home, a space where they can finally lay down their armor and be seen for who they truly are. Conversely, those who are operating from a place of falsehood, wearing masks and playing roles, often feel deeply uncomfortable and exposed around a keeper, even if not a single word of accusation is spoken. Their own inner dissonance is simply mirrored back to them in the clarity of the keeper's field. The resonance keeper understands a fundamental law of the universe that our modern world has largely forgotten. Integrity is not just a moral concept, it is a physical phenomenon. When one's inner world, their beliefs, values, and intentions is in perfect alignment with their outer world, their words, actions, and expressions, a powerful state of coherence is achieved. In this state, the universe doesn't just hear your message, it amplifies your entire transmission. Your energy becomes a clear, powerful broadcast, free from the static of internal conflict and self-deception. This is the source of the keeper's deep, quiet influence. They do not need to be loud, aggressive, or commanding to have a profound impact. They hold immense influence without noise because their very energy is the message. Their being radiates a transmission of clarity, truth, and alignment that speaks directly to the soul, bypassing the skeptical mind. Wherever they go, their presence helps to restore the primal rhythm of truth. They are the quiet hum beneath the chaos, gently and persistently reminding the world of its own authentic note, inviting everything and everyone back into the harmony of what is real. They are the silent pillars that uphold the very possibility of a world based on trust and transparency. While some souls are here to speak the truth, others come not to speak of it, but to transmit its frequency through mediums that bypass the fortress of the logical mind. These are the celestial artists, the cosmic musicians, the divine architects of beauty. They are the light encoders. Their purpose is to embed the high-frequency codes of awakening into the very fabric of their creations, turning art, music, stories, and even simple acts of beauty into powerful portals of transformation. Each creation that flows through them is far more than what it appears to be on the surface. A melody is not just a sequence of notes. It is a meticulously crafted key of sound designed to unlock specific emotional chambers within the listener. A painting is not merely an arrangement of color and form. It is a sequence of light disguised as a static image, a geometric mandala that communicates directly with the viewer's energy body. These creations are sophisticated delivery systems for light, designed to be decoded not by the analytical intellect, but by the deep, intuitive wisdom of the soul. The work of a light encoder can stir a profound and often inexplicable feeling within those who experience it. Listening to a piece of their music or gazing upon one of their artworks can trigger a deep, forgotten memory from the soul's vast library, a sudden feeling of poignant nostalgia for a home you can't name. It can activate a dormant strand of spiritual DNA, sparking a sudden insight, a spontaneous healing, or a shift into a higher state of consciousness. This activation only occurs in those whose own frequency is ready to receive it. The codes lie dormant within the creation, waiting for a resonant soul to pass by, and, in the moment of interaction, complete the circuit. For the light encoder themselves, this process of creation is not a hobby or a choice. It is a biological and spiritual necessity. The light, the inspiration, the cosmic information that flows into them is so immense and so powerful that it must be given an outlet. If they attempt to hoard it, block it, or deny its expression, it begins to burn from within, creating immense pressure, anxiety, and even physical illness. They are conduits, and the current must be allowed to flow through them and out into the world. In this way, they are the subtle weavers of the human energetic web. They are constantly repairing, strengthening, and upgrading the collective consciousness grid through their contributions. They understand that in a world so dominated by the rational mind, which is often deeply skeptical and resistant to spiritual truths, beauty is the safest and most disarming doorway to the infinite. No one needs to be convinced of the truth of a breathtaking sunset or a soul-stirring symphony. The experience itself is the truth. Beauty requires no argument. It simply is, and in its presence, the mind quiets, the heart opens, and the soul is free to receive the transmission. The light encoders remind us that emotion is the fastest bridge to the soul. While the mind travels the long winding road of logic and proof, the heart can leap across the chasm in a single beat. Their work is a testament to the transformative power of beauty, a constant, gentle invitation for humanity to feel its way back to the divine, one masterpiece at a time. When the collective, energetic field of humanity begins to tremble, when the air grows thick with the vibrations of fear, uncertainty, and chaos, certain souls are forged in the crucible of inner work to become unshakable anchors in the storm. They are not warriors who seek out conflict, nor are they pacifists who flee from it. They are the frequency guardians, and their sacred task is not to seek peace, but to hold it for a world teetering on the threshold of a profound transformation. They have already walked through their own personal hells, faced their own deepest shadows, and integrated their own most painful traumas. This intense inner alchemy has tempered their spirits, making them capable of standing in the very eye of a hurricane of collective disorder without being pulled into its chaotic spin. From their center, they radiate a coherence, a stillness so pure and so potent that the distorted energies of darkness and fear literally begin to dissolve in its presence. The guardian possesses a deep, embodied understanding that the greatest and most consequential battles are never fought on the physical plane. The true conflicts are waged within the invisible layers of vibration in the realm of consciousness itself. They know that every wave of fear, anger, and division that sweeps across the planet is sustained and amplified by the reactive energy of millions of individuals. The Guardian's power lies in their conscious choice to break this chain reaction within themselves. Every single time they are presented with a stimulus that would normally provoke a reaction of fear, outrage, or despair, they consciously choose a different response. They choose peace. They choose neutrality. They choose compassion. This seemingly small, internal act has monumental, unseen consequences. By choosing not to add their own energy to the momentum of fear, they prevent countless future waves of that same fear from being generated and multiplied across the collective field. Their non-reaction becomes a powerful act of transmutation, a firebreak that stops the spread of psychic wildfire. Their primary power lies not in what they do, but in who they are. It is the profound, unwavering stability of their presence that does the work. They are the silent lighthouses on a stormy sea. They do not chase after the ships, shouting instructions. They simply hold their light steady, providing a constant, reliable point of reference that allows the ships to navigate their own way back to the safety of the harbor. They are the invisible pillars of this transformative age. While the world outside may be consumed with the drama of collapsing systems and shifting paradigms, the frequency guardians are engaged in the quiet, crucial work of maintaining the underlying energetic integrity of the planet. They are holding the vibrational space for a new, more harmonious reality to be born. They hold their light steady, patiently, and lovingly, so that the rest of humanity can have a beacon to look toward, a reminder that even in the darkest, most terrifying moments of the storm, the calm, steady light of peace was never truly lost. It was simply waiting to be remembered. While the Guardian holds a stable frequency amidst chaos, there is another archetype of soul who takes this process a step further. They do not just hold the light. They are capable of actively walking into the deepest darkness and transforming it into light. They are the master transmuters, the spiritual scientists who understand the sacred laws of energy. They are the energy alchemists. Their core understanding is rooted in a fundamental cosmic principle. No energy is ever truly lost or destroyed. It can only be transformed. With this knowledge as their shield and their sword, they do not flee from darkness, pain, or suffering. They do not suppress, deny, or numb themselves to the so-called negative aspects of life. Instead, they walk directly into them with a radical curiosity and an open heart, knowing that what we label as darkness is simply misunderstood energy, light that has become trapped, distorted, and contracted. The alchemist's primary tool is the power of complete acceptance and unconditional non-resistance. When confronted with a dense, heavy emotion like grief, fear, rage, or despair, either within themselves or in another, their instinct is not to fight it, fix it, or run from it. Their instinct is to embrace it. They create a safe, compassionate container with their awareness and allow the dense emotion to simply be without judgment. In this field of total acceptance, the contracted energy, which has been held in place by resistance, finally feels safe enough to release its charge. The story attached to the pain begins to loosen its grip, and the raw energy that was fueling the suffering is allowed to unwind and return to its original, pure, neutral state. It is a process of loving a distorted energy back into its inherent wholeness. They have learned this profound skill not through theory, but through the intense fire of their own personal trials. They have navigated their own dark nights of the soul and discovered firsthand that every crisis, every breakdown, is secretly a restructuring of energy. It is a cosmic intervention designed to dissolve an old, limiting program and make way for a more expanded operating system. For the energy alchemist, every loss is a lesson in disguise. Every failure is a redirection. Every wound is a doorway to a deeper wisdom and a greater capacity for love. They have learned to see the gold hidden within the lead of every painful experience. Their presence has a profoundly liberating effect on those around them. People feel an unspoken permission to be vulnerable, to reveal their deepest pains and ugliest shadows, because they know they will be met not with judgment, but with a compassionate presence that sees the light within their darkness. The alchemist's life is a living demonstration of the ultimate creative power. They prove, through their own example, that anything, no matter how painful, ugly, or broken it may seem, can be turned to gold when it is seen through the right frequency, the frequency of unconditional love. They are the master healers, not because they fix anyone, but because they hold a space so pure and loving that people are able to heal themselves. At the furthest reaches of conscious evolution, as the soul completes its long journey of refinement through all the previous stages, it arrives at a state of ultimate realization. It awakens to the truth that it has never, for a single moment, been separate from the infinite source of all that is. Here, in this state of unified awareness, awakens the most enigmatic and profound of all the archetypes, the Timekeeper. This is the soul who holds the living memory of the universe itself. For the Timekeeper, time is not the linear, one-way street that we perceive in our three-dimensional reality. They do not experience a past that is gone forever and a future that is yet to come. They perceive time as it truly is, an infinite holographic spiral where all moments, every conceivable past, every potential present, and every possible future coexist simultaneously in the eternal now. They carry within the very fabric of their being an ancient, primordial knowing. It is not knowledge learned from books, but a deep, cellular memory of the entire cosmic journey. They hold the energetic blueprint of evolution, not just for an individual or a nation, but for all of humanity and beyond. Their role is not to actively interfere with the unfolding of events. They understand the sacred law of free will and know that every soul must walk its own path and learn its own lessons. Their work is far more subtle. They function like cosmic acupuncturists, subtly adjusting the vibrations of the collective field. They understand that a single, tiny shift in the energetic frequency of the present moment can ripple backward and forward through the spiral of time, harmonizing millions of possible outcomes across countless timelines. A single act of profound forgiveness, a moment of pure, unconditional love radiated from their being, can heal ancestral traumas from the past and avert potential catastrophes in the future. Their presence has a unique effect on others. Being around a timekeeper can connect you to a vast, eternal rhythm, a sense of deep time that puts your own immediate problems and anxieties into a much larger, more peaceful perspective. They remind you, without saying a word, that every cycle of birth, death, and rebirth serves a divine purpose. Nothing is ever truly lost, and no experience is ever wasted. They are the living embodiment of the bridge between what was and what will be, demonstrating that these are not separate locations on a map, but different vantage points within the single, unified landscape of the now. The Timekeeper embodies the ultimate truth of the soul's journey. You are not a small, fragile traveler moving through time. You are the journey itself. You are the timeless, eternal awareness in which the entire grand, beautiful, and intricate illusion of time unfolds. As we journey through these archetypes, from the foundational symphony of frequency to the ultimate awareness of the Timekeeper, we realize they are not separate roles to be achieved, but facets of our own divine potential. Each of us holds the capacity to be the guardian, the alchemist, the liberator, and all the rest. The path is one of remembering, of tuning our own instrument until we can play our unique and essential part in the cosmic orchestra. The world does not need you to save it. It needs you to be so unapologetically, authentically, and vibrationally you that your presence alone becomes the permission slip for others to do the same. Begin by noticing your own frequency. What song is your being singing today? Is it a tune of gratitude or a dirge of complaint? The power to change the song, and thus to change your world, lies not in the future, but in this very moment. It is in the conscious choice of your next thought, your next feeling, your next breath. This is the art of living, the great work of the soul. Which of these archetypes do you feel most connected to in your life right now? Where do you feel your soul is calling you to grow and expand? I would love to read your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Thank you for sharing this space and this time with me. I wish you a journey filled with harmony, clarity, and the deep, abiding joy of remembering who you truly are. If this message resonated with you, please consider subscribing to the channel for more explorations into the nature of consciousness and the art of creating a beautiful reality.